Right, it's Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit, and this is just a piece of board game that I've cut into a shape and put some super glue and baking soda on to create dirt. So what I want to do is I want to show you guys, we're in the Crowshriek series, and what we're going to do is we're going to show the reason this is called Crowshriek. So let me grab my tin foil, if I have any. Please say I do. All right, I do. So we're going to get tin foil. And we're going to make, pardon me, some kind of like weeping willow looking stuff. I think it's going to be kind of like a weeping willow. I don't know. That's what in my head I see. But it's what's the Crowshriek itself is a type of tree. So what you want is you want some about 2-inch long maybe 3 inches could work too. 2 or 3 inch long top branches that don't hang down. That's probably a little longer than 3 inches. No, it's under. All right, cool. So we're going to want about 5 of these, maybe 6. We don't want them to be super thick. We want them to be kind of thin. You ever run into somebody you went to high school with and they look way older than you? And you're just like, what the hell have you done with yourself, man? Or woman? Or whatever, you know. That one broke. We'll try to fix it. But I ran into somebody I went to high school with that looked really old, and it just kind of like, wow, holy shit. That's unfortunate for you. It's terrible that you really got super old. I mean, I am old. That's no, I'm 45. I'm not, a kid, but just seeing somebody else that looks that old that I knew, like full white beard, and she didn't have a beard, but you could tell she dyed her hair, and around her eyes, her crow's feet were deep, and her eyes were kind of sunken in, and she was heavy when we were in school, but she was pretty big, and just, yeah, that's what happens, man. You get old. Shit starts doing shit you don't want it to. Shit starts misbehaving. I feel bad, I wish there were more people that I graduated with that were doing well. A lot of them got into drugs and made miscellaneous bad life choices that affected them very negatively. Okay, so for this last part, you want to get your part that's going to be your tree. You want to fold that kind of in half. And you want to put like a stick of some sort in here for some strength. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a piece of this barbecue skewer. And I'm going to get all these little pieces in here like this, with the pointiest part out and the thickest part in. And I'm not doing it well. So let's do it like this. Oh, I knocked some shit over. I'm not sure what it was. This is much easier, yeah. So get a dab of glue in there first and then come back and mount it. knocked over? Oh, a miniature. Oh well. I didn't like it that much anyways. So then you want to kind of twist this up like this. And you want to pull these down like that. And this is much longer than I had anticipated it would be. I wasn't wanting it to be quite that big around, or that long, I mean. So I'm going to hack off. I'm going to tighten it up. And I'm going to hack this about that much off. Once I get my big snippers. I'm going to kind of open that bottom up a little bit so I can get it to stick nice where I want it to. Then when I stick this on here, I'm just going to kind of do this number like that and get a lot of contact points around the edges. And then let that cool in place so it's pretty sturdy. And also I'm going to fill this in up here with hot glue. So it kind of goes in all those cracks. And it makes almost like a lumpy, bulbous area. So it looks like this is wearing like a plastic molded piece of jelly on its head or something. Up to here. Then I'm going to come back and do some cleanup work where I have some holes. I'm going to drag some of these out to look like roots. Just like that. Come down off the side, sloppily. Need our glue stick. And I'm going to let that sit for a moment and let that stuff kind of cool. And I want that top part kind of to drip over, especially where these seams are here. I want that to drip over a little bit. That's going to be important for covering that up and strengthening these parts before we adjust them anymore. Okay. So this tree is called the Crowshriek tree. And it's called that because it has branches that hang down. And on those branches are heavy leaves that look like two crow wings hanging down, or any kind of bird wings. And when the wind blows, the leaves clap together and make a shrieking noise as the wind blows between them, because they share like one stem and go out like that. And that creates a maddening effect. And it's one of the reasons this area was abandoned. Why people stopped settling here and living here is because these invasive trees came from they don't know where. Now, as the man who invented these trees, I just might know where they came from. So the wildlings, the unknown god they worship, just like the fleshberries, that unknown god introduced this tree to create madness type mad stuff. Let's get up in here and really get that goo, that sap coming out. Like I said, I want it to look like it's wearing a rubber jelly hat. I want a lot of sap pouring out. The longer these trees go, the more sap comes out, and they start drawing insects, mainly bees, to pollinate them. And then they spread quickly. Okay. Now let's get a minor burning hand spell and clean this up real quick. I usually only own one minor burning hand spell at a time, but I somehow managed to have a yellow one and a red one, like ketchup and mustard. See how those are dripping off? And it's getting gooier. That's what I'm going for there. Okay. And then because I like to play with fire, I'll use the minor burning hand spell and clean up some unnecessarily early. Even though I'll probably have to come back again and do it. Okay, a lot of spider webs. Now let's see how those turned out. Those look like they're drying pretty good. I just want to create some little streaks on them. Okay. I don't want to like completely destroy what they are. I just want them to have a little bit of texture so they don't look like giant hot glue blobs that have been ignored. Some of them might. All right. Then on the tops of each one of these branches, we're going to use some baking soda and hot or super glue and create like a moss, like a thick layer of moss on top of these. And I'm not sure if it's going to do what I want it to, but that's what I'm going to attempt to do. So I'm coming here, starting here. I'm going to bring it down like that. Sprinkle it on. Shake it off. I'm going to do that on each one. Okay. And I don't want this to get on the bottom parts of the branches, so I'm trying to be a little delicate about it. I'm not trying to be super delicate about it because I'm in a hurry as usual. But I'm trying to, do it quickly and effectively. Let's say that. So Scorpic and I have been playing Quinfall. It's a new game. It costs about $20 because it costs $20. It's not even about $20. And it's got a lot of problems. It's got a horrible login server situation where there's no login server. You just sit and log in till you get in, and there's no like queue or anything. And it's just got a bunch of problems. But I'll be honest with you, I think it is the best $20 I have spent on a video game in quite a while. Like, I'm kind of judgy about video games too, but it's just fun. Like, it's not even a well-built game. There's a lot of problems with it. Like, I see a lot of people playing PvP on it. I wouldn't even dare try to play the PvP on it with the way it is. I have some glue underneath here, and to speed up the process, even though I didn't want to get any on these undersides of these branches, I'm just going to sprinkle it to get anything wet and hope that that takes care of that problem. Okay. Okay, and then on the side where it leans, I'm just going to have that moss trail up the side here the best I can and hope it looks okay. All right. Now, you should Mod Podge it, but because Mod Podge bubbles when you heat it with a hot air gun or a hair blow dryer, but I call it the hot air gun, you know that. If you're new, though, you might not know that. So, let me wipe this off. All right, so we need our leaves. So any kind of thin cardboard will do. I happen to have some super glue things here, cardboards here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a small knife and a big knife and some scissors and see what cuts best. I think the fastest way to do it would be something like this. Oop. And to fold one of these in half, just like that. And to cut my bird wings out of that. Seems like that would be one of the easier ways to do it. probably get 2 out of this one. It's pretty thick. Four, and what do I need? 6. Okay. Mariana, Mariana. All right, so mountain, oops. Oh, there's something I need to do with these real quick. We want to make these roots look rough. So you want to get your glue gun and drag it along and break up any of the perfection of those roots so they don't just look like globs of glue. They have some bark-like texture. Take a couple seconds to make sure you do a nice job on that. Doesn't have to be perfect, but you want it to look okay, right? You want to look like you tried a little bit. But you don't want to put so much effort into it that it looks like it spent all week on something that's going to turn out half-ass. Get a tabletop ready. If people are judging your prop trees that are just theatrical, then you should punch them in the nuts. Or if they don't have nuts, don't punch them. Okay. So for the leaves, what I think I want to do is I'm going to get them to where most of them are connected just by a little teeny piece like that. And then what I want to do is I want to kind of, oh, I made these a little bit long. Okay, no problem. We'll just snip. Get some loose cardboard here. We will just snip a little bit of that length off. Okay, there we go. All right. We'll just get a tiny dab of glue. Like that. We'll stick it on. And we'll just measure each one of these out. This one I cut in half, see? And it's kind of long too. No problem. We'll just snip off some of that length. And since that one's kind of broken, we'll have to be a little more careful about how we hang it. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of get a little bit of glue like that, and I'll dab them together and put them on the branch like this, hanging carefully. I'm spreading these out a little bit so that you can tell that they're 2 leaves and it's easier to paint. Is this one too long? It's a little bit too long too. We'll shorten that up. No problem. Come on, bend down there a little bit, buddy. And we're going to need to cinch these up with some come on. Do what I want, you bastard. We're going to need to cinch these up with some super glue to make sure they stay, or they're going to be crazy. And we're not going to like that. Trim this one up. Yeah, that's what I was going for. It's not perfect. And in my head, I imagined it a little more populated, but that's okay. It can't be perfect. I understand that. Plus, I don't know what a weeping willow looks like off the top of my head. I mean, I've seen them before. There's one at the church down from my house, but in my head, I can just only imagine what they look like. And you know me, I didn't look it up. I just said, I know what a weeping willow looks like, and walked down here. And the last one. Do a little snip work on the inside. Whoop. And we'll shorten them up. Okay. We got a few spider webs, but nothing significant that we can't fight through. Let's get these things mounted on here sturdily. Sturdily, dirtily. And all I'm going to do that, so I'm going to come across the ends here. It's a little bit of glue. And a little bit of boo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Just like that. And they should be pretty sturdy. I'm going to hit them again just to make sure, because I'm paranoid. Da-da-da-da-da. I'm gluing it. Oh, that's moving around pretty freely. Shit, look at that. That is not good, my dudes. Why did that happen? Okay, no problem. We will just apply some more glue. And we will make it work. Some Republic Senate rules that make it legal. There we go. All right, I don't know why I wasn't doing it. All right, same thing here. Just a little booba-doop. That one's a lot better right off the bat. I don't know. I'm going to have to come, because this was that one that was in two pieces, I'm going to come behind here and get some glue back in there too, I think. Oh, I snapped this one off. Oh, it hasn't been glued yet anyways. It's okay. All right, so I'm going to get this sucker turned to black. Whether I do it with spray or glue and Mod Podge and paint, or just paint, or whatever I do, I'm going to make sure this is black when we come back. I'll probably spray it with clear coat. Let's check to make sure all our branches are pretty sturdy so they don't pop off while we're painting. They all seem pretty sturdy. Okay. Now, we got a lot of spider webs to deal with. So let's go safety first on the spider webs. And when I mean safety first, I mean go out of our way to get rid of them. And then I'm going to catch these papers just a little bit on fire on the inside of the wings to get rid of that real smooth cut. See that? Just let it burn out a little bit. No, no, no. Stop it. Go. You're too... Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. You don't want them to burn in too far. Stop it. You're burning. Ow. You're doing bad. Okay. All right, now this one's really thin and I'm worried about it. So what I'm going to do, the rest of them are kind of how I envisioned it, except for these two here. Let's burn those up real quick. Catch on fire. Give me fuel, give me fire. I didn't want the tips to catch on fire for sure. That was not my intent. So this one that's real thin right here, where's it at? There. I'm going to get a little bit of glue on that. Just let that kind of dry. All right, so when I come back, oh, let's put some rocks on here. Can I do it? Can I put a rock on the base? I don't know. This looks like the one. Maybe that's the one. Maybe that's the one. All right, so when I come back, this will be all black, and we will paint it up. I'd like to thank everybody for taking the time to watch. Please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell icon, and leave a comment, and I'll see you next time.